Hey everybody, welcome to Love Above All with Brandis, where my mission is to help you love yourself, know yourself, and share yourself authentically with others for God's purpose. We have episode 3 today, and it is titled, How to Live Like You Are Alive, Letting Yourself Be Loved. If you are not able to see the two previous episodes to this, I recommend that you click the links below. That will enable you to do so and kind of get a better idea as to what we're talking about today. Last episode, I asked you what emotion it is that you wanted to feel for the remainder of time that you were here on earth. I also asked you what was preventing you from feeling the way that you wanted to feel. If I had to answer that question for myself, which I did in 2010 when I was at my lowest point, I stated that I wanted to feel peace and I wanted to be free. What was preventing me from being at peace and being free was my mind. I had a lot of obsessive thoughts, a lot of overthinking, a lot of overanalyzing, a lot of negative thoughts that were in there as well that was preventing me from living like that. Essentially, my mask, the perfectionism, the anxiety, the fear, all the experiences that were underneath, that were covering my love space, the deepest, most intimate part of me, led to a lot of pain and suffering, which inevitably led for me to not be able to really live like I was alive. I had to come to that realization in that place. I believed in God, I believed in Jesus, but I didn't understand why I still had a really hard time in my head and just in my daily life. So the question is, what do we do about suffering? I had a very dear spiritual teacher of mine tell me a couple of things at that time in 2010 when I was at my lowest point that really changed my life forever. The first thing that I was told was that there is a place inside of me that is bigger than all of my pain, bigger than any trauma that I would have went through, bigger than the mask that it was that I was wearing. But I had to find it. No one could show it to me. I had to be able to find it myself. I was then told that this place that is inside of me, it doesn't have an emotional feeling attached to it, but there is a feeling, there is some type of a sensation inside of you that you are aware of, that you know when you have gotten to it, when you have gotten to that place. The third thing that I was told at that time was, who are you beyond your suffering and your pain? I had to really think about that. I had to think about everything that I was hearing because it was being told to me in a new way. It was something very new to me. I had, at that time, to really surrender. I surrendered to God. I loaded up that surrender with gallons and gallons of faith, and I was determined to find that place. So after I was able to do so, I finally got it. It took a while. It took, I don't know how many months it took, but I finally got it. I found that place that was deeply rooted inside of me. It led me to my truth. And there was a major shift that occurred on October 20th, 2010, that really got me out of my head, into my heart, into that deepest space that resides within me. Something that I just want to throw out there is from the Bible, from Luke 18:20, and it says, the kingdom of God is within you. I believe on that day, October 20th, 2010, I found it. I found it deep inside of me. I finally realized that everything that was part of that mask, I didn't have to attach to it. I didn't have to believe it. I did not have to understand it all. I didn't have to shoo it away and be mad at it. It was just something that was there, and that's okay. I realized that I had another choice. I was able to go ahead and go to that deeply rooted part of me, the kingdom of God that lives within me. And I was able to rely on that space. I was able to know that that space would catch me when I fall, that space would catch me when I mess up, when I go back to my mind, when I put my mask on, when it's hard for me to forgive, when I want to judge, when it's hard for me to see something in another person's point of view, and especially when I don't love myself. I'm always able to go back to that place. I understood that that place inside of me is unconditional love. It's something that I never had to work for. It's something that was always there, ready and waiting for me to realize. It's something that is always there for me to check into before I make any type of major decision. That is where God lives for me. That is where I have my conversations with God. It's right in that space. I don't find God outside in my achievements and things that I do, in pleasing people. I find it inside. I go to that space. I go to that place in order to know who I really am beyond my suffering and beyond my pain, so that I can actually love. So I will leave you with a couple things before I go. The first thing that I want to go ahead and challenge you to do is, I challenge you to find that love space. I challenge you to operate and live out of that love space, the kingdom of God that is deeply rooted within you. And I challenge you to not live from your mask. I challenge you to ask to be of service. And I challenge you to let yourself be loved. It's there. You just need to realize it. And everything that you know right now, if you're experiencing a lot of pain and suffering, I guarantee you will change. I cannot tell you the timing. God only knows the perfect timing. But it will happen. So I bid you peace and love and God bless. And until our next episode, I pray that you find that space, and it is that space that will always tell you who you really are. God bless you. Bye-bye.